All right, gang. Who wants to recap last session?
I mean,
Okay.
I died, but I got nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, the main takeaway is that Yumi died.
Okay, so Yumi died. Zasho and Vakaris fought their mirror self. Vakaris still wanted to hold hands. Zasho did not. He left, and Vakaris did not join him fast enough, and they were separated. Dasani, Zasho, and Yop used the ring to talk to each other to try to set up a meetup. Except Vakaris wasn't there to, know that. And then he stumbled upon Yumi's body and then freaked out and started running from room to room. Eventually everyone grouped up together. They met some person in the tower that was working for the bad guy who says the tower resets every day. Said we could essentially loot the stuff. Vakaris opened a bunch of boxes. There were enemies. Punketto was rescued. I got nothing else. Did I miss anything important?
Not really.
Tallowick being Keldek's apprentice, I feel like, is kind of weird.
We killed Sanballat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of unceremoniously.
Key point.
Scaring Wave Chaser got away if he was ever in the tower to begin with.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, so we have most people on the second floor with a bunch of corpses and some unopened chests, and Yop wanted to investigate some rooms. Anyone have a preference for... more importantly, does anyone in this room wish to continue futzing around in here, or do you want to move on?
Well, the problem is that both Yop and Tallowick have the keys, and they both left. So we're kind of stuck here until they're done, or we want to go through random floors again.
Use the rings.
Anything?
What'd you say, Ted?
I said, do your thing. We'll wait.
Oh, this is gonna take a minute.
Why don't we have a short rest while they're doing whatever they're doing?
Sure.
I'm good with that. And if anybody is hurt, I do have at least a spell slot left. Possibly two. I do have both.
I think it's only oh, well, no. Sorry, I'm not here.
I'm mostly talking about Krellick.
I'm fine, as always.
Yeah, but if we're going to rest, I might as well use this energy up anyway.
If you like.
Okay.
18, huge. 18 is huge.
Yeah, and Vakaris is in a bad way, but I don't think that there's going to be any, I don't think anything's going his way.
I don't know what would give you that impression, other than it being the truth.
Okay, Yop and Tallowick, where are you?
Well, the couple things that we were going to get accomplished, if I remember correctly, I had asked Tallowick if she would just show me the rest of the good shit to be looted, because she seemed to indicate that she knew where it was, right? And so whether or not she's being honest with me when she's saying she's going to hand that stuff over, I don't know. But that's sort of my expectation. And then basically, as I go up through the floors of the tower, I just want to do a little investigating on my own to see what's there. It looks like in this room there's some bookshelves and stuff, and I want to see if I find anything interesting on those bookshelves, for example.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Hey, Yop, just so you know, we are all going to wait here on this floor. Take your time, do your thing. We'll be taking a quick break until you are back.
You okay? Do you want one of the keys or something while I'm gone?
If that's not trouble, just, do your thing. We'll be here taking a break, getting some healing in. don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Okay. A 21 have bookshelves with just like a lot of it is unuseful, like both fictions and then personal journal keeping, small notes, but nothing outstanding.
Okay, fair enough.
21. There is a book that is made of wood on one of the shelves.
Yeah, that's weird. I'll take that.
Okay. And removing it from the shelf, discovered it's a hollow book, like it's a box book.
Got it. I'm not going to bother getting into it or any of that stuff right now. I'm just taking a box.
Cool. Let me make sure that I have. Nope, it's in there. Okay. Alright. The next is this one. The incredibly value but ostentatiously large and impractical scrying crystal.
Yeah, I'm not going to be making off with that, but I'll check the shelves and whatnot.
Alright. This is the room that, like, for player context, this is the room Vakara snatched the, jar from, so there's nothing else particularly interesting.
Got it.
Okay. And there's this room, which has no storage space available, just this, configuration of symbols and unlit candles. They're lit in a picture.
I will make a sketch of those symbols.
Make an intelligence check for me. Okay. You feel confident in the accuracy of this illustration?
Love it. Let's move on.
Okay. This is the room filled with broken mirrors. Also no storage space. And a box that looks like it has been moved across the room.
Yeah, none of this stuff interests me.
Okay. There is this room where the field divided, the field that separated these two halves of the room is now gone, and the runic circle is no longer illuminated.
Are the stuff on the south side of this room, like the text, are they actually there, or is that just flavor for the image?
You could go and check it out with investigation. This only clicks for you based on what you've been doing lately. This is a bit of a hemocraft recorded here, mostly in the form of a animal rites and slightly necromantic magic used.
Yeah, any of those notes or texts taken with me.
Cool, right? You can collect those. You can just list them however you'd like in your inventory.
Got it.
Yeah, this room with the killed flying spellbooks and a bloodstain all over the ground, and a lot of books.
Yeah, I like me some books. Let me take a look.
Go for it. This has some spell texts, or at least theory of spell text, not necessarily spell books per se. There is also a lot of, again, fictions, which seems unusual, and then some regional history text as well.
I will take all of these spell texts that I see, even though it sounds like they're more theory than anything practical or in a usable state. And I will also take whatever seems to be the most comprehensive regional history to Maya. I'm not taken all of the history books, but just whatever seems like it would be the most thorough. In my simple investigation, I'll take one of those.
Cool. I will grant that this gives you advantage on some history checks in for stuff around the area.
Fantastic.
And the other books might be sellable.
Right, that's what I figured.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on.
Next room has the beautiful and gigantic, delicate map of the plains.
I would like to do a thorough investigation of this map and then do the best I can to try and, like, this is clearly large enough that there's no taking it. So it is my assumption. So after studying it, I am going to try and make whatever sort of copy of it I can.
Okay, make me first an investigation check and then an intelligence check. Okay, the sketch is comprehensive, but won't do justice to obviously the entirety of the display. You can see that a lot of this is both made of, in some fashion, particularly with like the elemental planes that are marked on Cosmos. They're both made of the materials appropriate to the planes, but also a lot of fine material as well, like very valuable stones or metals. You also find again that basin under the display, that black basin with bronze, the lid that Zashel found and checked it.
I will be thinking more about this map as we move on to the next room.
Okay. And then they have Makeda in.
We can move on. Krellick and I have fond memories of investigating this room.
All right, and you have laboratory.
Oh yeah, this is my shit right here. I will spend an inspiration point to re-roll that.
There you go. That was gonna be sad.
Yeah, it was gonna be super sad for Yop.
That would have been tragic on any account, but it would have been really sad. Specific. Okay, so basically how I set up this room was based on the investigation, merited different levels of treasure that you could acquire, and you have max DC, so I can send you everything. Just playing. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to read out everything, but then I will copy it for you as well.
Cool.
So, there is a pearl of high value. There is a lot of spell paper and ink. There is a vial of a very clear and interesting look, very runny, like runs faster than a beautiful and immaculate diamond, clear flask of holy water that has a blessing on it. There is silver ingrained bones, an ironwood chest, an ivory statuette of a very tall and thin turbaned man with an extravagant beard and gemstones decorating his tiny knit robes. How much paper total? Right. And if you would like to, you can stop and do identifies or try to have like jeweler's tools or something you can try to appraise value. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait on all of that until we get back to the lighthouse. At this point, I'm just trying to gather everything up and move on. And if I have everything noted correctly, the next level would be the roof, which I don't think has anything interesting.
Mhm.
So I will just turn to Talawick. Is there anything that you think we've missed, or that perhaps we should take with us? That anything else of value?
She thinks for a moment. And says, well, not that I could specify. Everything of value that I can rely on is usually in this room.
Well, I must say that map of the plains is quite beautiful and has some very valuable component parts to it, which I'm sure we could fetch a fine penny for if we were to disassemble it. But it's such a magnificent map. I think it would be a real shame to do that. So please let Keldek know that we're leaving that untouched.
She nods. If it makes you feel any better, plenty of opportunity to try to disassemble it myself, and have been, so far, unsuccessful.
Yes, no offense, but I don't believe you have a Krellick.
No.
Well, we do.
Okay, anything else you're doing? And can you carry all of the stuff that you found?
I think I can take everything because I got Betty with me. Right. The only question I've got is this ironwood chest. Whether or not I can haul that up onto Betty.
I don't think she can. I don't think she'll be able to carry it, but you should.
Oh, well then wonderful, because I think everything else I can probably fit into Betty's mouth. And if I can carry that chest down, then we should be good.
Okay. Just bring the floor where everyone else is. And hours have gone by. Like 2, 3. What's everyone else been up to?
I'm sorry that took so long, everyone.
Krellick had been he had taken off the necklace that Yumi gave him and has just been looking at it in his hand, tapping his other finger on the abacus, just kind of looking at Yumi and just tapping.
Okay. Zashel, anything from you?
Doing his getting the short rest through, but I'm also going to take a minute. I wanted to ritual cast. No, I got nothing. I thought there was a ritual I wanted to do, but now I can't find it. I don't remember what it was.
Okay, Vakaris, anything from you?
Just playing with fire. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh, no, here. I'm sorry. I wanted to use ceremony, the funeral rite.
Okay. Do you have the components?
I don't. I forgot that has a component for that one.
Yeah.
So no, nothing I'm doing then.
Yeah. During the short rest, Khamir approaches you, Zashel, and asks if opportunity to speak with you for a moment.
of course, we are not in a very large room, so if you expect privacy, that might be an issue.
We ought to be. The display just a moment ago from Vicaris. This was it. I'm curious as to what it was he meant exactly. Offered that either you could determine the value or the appropriate magical effect of an object or heal. And your response was noteworthy. Would you mind explaining yourself?
The simple answer is that Vicaris is under the impression that I am able to look at any object and determine any sort of magical properties on it. Vicaris is an idiot. I can determine if an item is magical or not. I cannot determine any sort of properties, auras, command words, anything of the sort.
I see. And was this a response intended with hostility, or perhaps irritation?
Mr. Hamir, we are carrying the corpse of one of our franchise members. My patience for what I would normally be able to tolerate from some of the less focused among us is, shall we say, a little less than usual.
Less focused?
No, my tolerance is less than usual. I am less able to tolerate the less focused actions of my compatriots. That's all.
Yes, I heard you correctly. Less focused compatriots, as you said. How so?
I don't know that I understand the question. Less focused on the thing that I am focused on. I should have been more clear.
I see.
We have two bodies, one of which needs to be, I will assume, given to you to return to head office, the other of which requires funeral rites, which I currently lack the components to perform. And honestly, now that I think about it, I'm not sure what her preferences would have been in the first place, but that's neither here nor there.
Very well. He takes a couple of notes and gives you. Okay. Yop, anything from you when you return?
Well, I believe we picked this tower clean. If there's nothing else, I guess we should return home and make arrangements for Yumi.
Yo, I'm glad you're here. I could use your help.
What can I help you with, Kralik?
I'd like to read the kill on Yumi to determine the impact of that kill on the franchise's fate.
Cool. What you gotta do for it?
I'm going to pick the way I use the kill instead of rolling for it. I'm gonna make a cautious, reasoned, professional guesstimate of how she died.
Okay. Do you have to make a check for this?
I don't.
Okay. Well, that's not, that's not really that big deal, because She has gash wounds. She died in a only amount of blood that existed was around her. And you saw that as you found her body there. There are the marks of a blade across her chest and neck. And mind populating it exactly for me so I can...
Yes. There actually is a bit of tricky language in here, if you wouldn't, It's, when you study a creature killed by someone in your franchise. Now, technically, Hammy Boy ain't in the franchise, but as he is supervising our franchise directly, I don't know, I think there's a case to be made.
There is a case to be made, however, it is very explicit, particularly as he is not operating as a replacement to Cultant in the interim. He is not a member of the franchise.
I believe, then, I think that just affects the ability to give the D10.
Mm-hmm.
So, she was killed by slashing weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll turn to Yup.
Yo, how many people here have weapons that cut you?
Well, I guess. Well, Krennic, I guess all of us have weapons that can break the skin, if that's what you're talking about. I mean,
Well, like this,
And I'll hold up my great axe.
this here will slice you real good, like this will do. But this,
And I hold up the maul.
this just breaks stuff. And not everybody has both, and not every weapon does different things like that, right?
oh, I see. So you're trying to find the type of damage similar to the axe, but not to the maul. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, who in here has weapons that'll slash you up?
Yeah. I know Yumi had said weapons like that. And,
Well, Yumi didn't kill us herself, so...
No, but that would... No. But, Zashel has those daggers. Is that the type of damage you're talking about?
Maybe. Who else?
Well, I've got the Warhammer and the Trident, and I guess you could, well, you don't really get a good slash with either of those. Vikaris, particularly in his current condition, tends to just light things on fire. Dasani likes to turn into a bear.
But Dasani was with, Lucky. So, I mean, he couldn't have done it.
Right. Well, I guess that's it for the weapons I know. I don't... well... I mean, Hamir does have Yeah, I think that's all the weapons I know, Krellick.
What kind of weapon does Hamir have? Does he display it? Is it visible?
You've actually checked him out before. He has a small staff that straps to his back, and when it is summoned, it is a glaive made of reed.
I've seen the size and shape of the blade.
Yeah, he's helped take down trolls with you guys before.
Okay. I'm familiar with weapons, and I'm familiar with inflicting a lot of wounds, and I've inflicted a lot of wounds on a lot of people. Does this look like something a dagger would do, or does it look like something a large blade like his would do?
Roll me a medicine check.
It's an 8.
It's not good, but you don't necessarily have to have a high DC to understand that this is not a dagger wound.
Oh, Krellick, I see that look in your eye. Just calm down for a second.
Wait a minute.
No, you see, Krellick, this is it. This is not a good time for this. Let's talk this out for a second. Let's think this through.
I'll look down at Yumi and grip the necklace that Yumi gave me, and I walk directly up to Hamir.
He looks as plain, disinterested as he has basically since you've met him.
I'm on one side and Betty's on the other of Krellick.
Okay. You guys actually moving?
Oh yeah.
Just because, this might matter depending on what you do next.
I look at him and I say,
I think maybe someone cut up our dear Yumi. And I think there's only 2 people here that probably do it. Could do it. I don't think Cecil's the top. But I don't know you. Did you do it?
I don't know that I understand how this has not been made clear yet to you.
Did you kill Yumi?
Yes, as per my contract and obligation.
Why?
Because Yukio posed a threat both to your franchise, your employees, you, and to the company at large.
In what way did she pose a threat?
She actively induced an altered state of mind, and then put all of you out in public, to which end resulted in Zashel breaking some common laws. That then puts you in trouble with the locals and government in your region. She then also insisted on refusing her proper name, and while we don't necessarily care for truth and identity, that is not, should we say, significantly important. The fact that she insisted on hiding it from all of you proves that she had no intention of being honest and truthful with any of you, and by extension, the rest of the company. Her intentions, her selfish reasonings for either joining the company or for getting all closer to you very well could have proven more detrimental than they already were. It was my assessment, when given the opportunity, that she was unfit as it stood to be your company's obviator, and that alone would have merited termination. However, again, as my own position states, there was an opportunity that was seen to handle a problem quickly and efficiently. One that, per my contract, I was obligated to complete. So I took the opportunity.
Efficiently. You killed her over a couple fines and a little lie. Who told you to do it?
He simply says, head office.
I slam my fist on the wall behind him.
Who told you to do it?
He withdraws his own contract and hands it out to you.
I read it.
There is just another obviator's name above his.
Whose name?
I didn't come up with one, but I'll give you one. How's that?
Okay, yeah, super good.
Make it up on the spot. Come on. Let's go.
No, I'm not doing that.
Do you want to end up with Herbal Durble Gerbil? Because that's
Yeah.
how you end
Yes.
up with Herbal Durble Gerbil.
Yes, that should
Look,
be
I
the guy in
like-
charge.
We all liked Herbal Durble. Okay.
And
I,
to be fair to Logan, it's fitting in with gnomish names, but it also distracted us for like an hour.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hell yeah. I take a look at the contract, crumple it up.
Good. I'm gonna enjoy adding 2 more skulls to the ticker.
And I try to rip away his weapon.
It is on his back.
I try my best to do so.
Okay, give me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Sure. It's a 13.
He rolled a 16. He moves to the side and pushes your arm away.
Okay, I go into a rage and I try to kill this person.
Okay, we are going to roll initiative.
I wish I was higher level barbarian and had advantage on initiative.
Okay. I should probably get them lucky in, huh? That makes sense.
Do we really need Panketta in there?
I mean, I can just take her out and you can,
No.
I feel
that.
bad. I feel
We're-
like she's
we're gonna-
like
we're
tied
gonna-
up and exhausted. That's
We're
all.
gonna need all the help we can get. Something tells me.
Yep.
I feel like this is sort of a even if we win, we lose situation. So
There's Zashel pleading with us to stop.
Zashel's turn is up first.
oh lord, oh man, Kralik, what are you doing? I will. I don't know what to do here. I will. I hate doing this, but I'm gonna have to. Kralik, I suggest you simply go downstairs and take a moment to cool off. I will cast suggestion.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That's very good.
That's so good!
I hate it though. I hate it so much.
My favorite part about this is
Brought
there's
it to his mouth.
e- even if it works, there's almost no chance he ends up downstairs.
Okay, what's the save? What is it?
Wisdom.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. Okay, we're not on a ship. All right,
You-
it's an 8.
That's a failure.
It's
I hate using mind control magic on PCs. I really, really do. But it's all I got.
okay.
All right, hold on. I'm reading the spell too. Okay, what did you tell me to do?
Go downstairs. and
Go
cool.
downstairs and cool off. Or go down the stairs and cool off.
Okay. I just stand there with like I've reached for the maul and heaving breaths and I turn to look at you. My beady turtle eyes lock in with you. There's just anger and just fury and starts to fade. And then he turns, looks at Hamir.
If I see you again, you're dead, man. Put that on your fucking clipboard.
And I go left.
We'll hold initiative for just a second. And Hamir steps out of the way and allows you to pass. Arm not even raised yet for his glaive. And Punketta looks to you, Zashel, for some cue.
He just holds out a hand, basically. Don't do anything.
She nods. Kralik?
I go left. I go down. Now, do I get to roll to see where I end up?
Yes, you do. You roll a
Cool.
d10.
Hell yeah! It's a 6,
Tell him to go
baby.
downstairs. He just comes down the other stairs right behind Talwig.
Oh, please.
That'd be really cool, but that's not how it works.
Oh, damn.
You end up in this room.
Cool. Is there a barrier in this room still?
No.
Okay, no bone barrier. Okay. I went downstairs. I start breaking everything that's breakable in this room.
Okay. There are bones scattered across the ground that are shattered, remnants of furniture. Anything you can get your hands on is just destroyed.
Yeah, claw marks on the walls.
Vicaris, do you do anything?
At first he looked up in excitement, but as soon as he saw Kralik leave, he just looked back down in disappointment. That's it.
Yup.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up next to Hamir and sort of stick him in the corner and just say, by my estimation, no franchise of Acquisitions Inc. would be worth its salt if it was perfectly comfortable with one of its members being murdered. If I were you, I wouldn't be here when Kralik comes back in.
He just stares. Do you do anything else?
Nope, just stand right there.
Okay. Lucky looks around confused. Do I need to hold initiative?
I don't think so.
Okay. What do you all do, gang?
Yup, if we are done in this tower, if you will lead us, or Talawik, either one of you, if you will lead everyone here, down and out, I would like to begin preparations to go back to the lighthouse. Lucky, is there anything you need for that?
I've got everything already. I'll just need everyone to be together.
Sure, let's open the door and see if Krellik's down here. Is Krellik downstairs?
Nope.
Okay. I will walk everybody down, and the next floor down is the ground floor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll walk everybody down the stairs, right, and say that I'll meet you all back down here, back out front. I'm going to go get Krellik. And I will start making my way up the tower again.
There's an angry badger down here.
Maybe you should have held initiative.
You should have held initiative.
It's just Barry.
Barry the badger.
Barry the badger.
Stop it.
Okay. Hamir goes and collects the body of Sanballat and says, for everyone in this franchise's sake, I will be leaving now.
It's probably for the best. If you need any sort of report, or if there's anything you wish to report, any paperwork you wish us to file, whatever, just you can send it through my documents or case, and I will see to formalities.
I will. As he hauls the corpse up, and he begins to pass Vicaris, he says, you should understand that there is a chance that with the fragility with which you handled the room upstairs, that someone might be coming back to determine your threat to the company. And he picks up the body and leaves through the hole in the wall that you guys made. And vanishes.
Did I just get threatened?
I don't know, I didn't hear what he said.
Alright, well.
A few minutes go by, Yop, until you can locate Krellik in this room.
Now, Krellik, I know you're upset. I know you're angry, and you've got every right to be. But we've got to calm down before we can get out of here.
You see the carnage all over the place, but he's just sitting in the just on the floor, maul and axe at his side. Looks up at you, just kind of nods and grabs his weapons, hooks them in, and just goes to follow.
As we're walking down the stairs, I'll sit on. Now look, none of us are happy that Yumi is dead. But she angered some very, very powerful people, and if we were to avenge that here today, those powerful people would be coming after us too. And there's no way that we could hold up against all of Acquisitions Inc. So we're just going to have to remember her as best we can and do right by her as best we can. And hold her memory in our heart and plan vengeance for another day.
Yo, did you know?
Did I know what?
Did you know that, that he killed Yumi?
Yes, Krellick, I did know that he killed Yumi.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go, Krellick. And we'll make our way out.
Oh, I'm muted. You all get downstairs. I just need to make sure we're carrying as much as we can. The ritual that Lucky is setting up.
Lucky, how far are we from the lighthouse?
Couple leagues? Why?
Can you walk?
Yeah, but there's like trolls and shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the room? Like it's the whole gang?
Yeah, looks like.
How many of you knew that he did it?
Akaris raises his hand.
Lucky just says, I mean, he told us.
From the moment we saw him in that barrier room.
So you all knew that he done it. And we just let him stand next to her body as it went cold.
Before you got in, he did make some relevant points about the little difference he did towards Yumi and what we do to other people on behalf of the company.
Oh, I heard what he said. She was one of us. And you all couldn't lift a fucking finger for her.
Krellick, if Bernadette says someone's gonna get shot, friend or foe, buddy or not, you stand in front of a bullet?
I've always stood with me crew, Lucky, you know that. And this is me crew. But what? A bunch of cowards.
There are two
Krellick.
separate issues at play here. One is that the person you were keen on fighting is not only considerably powerful, they are a higher representative of the group for which we work. If the rules and regulations and potential punishments of that organization are no longer acceptable to you, that is, I am certain, a nullifying factor for your contract. You needn't stay if those things bother you. The second is, you're right. This is a franchise. This is something I have stressed considerably. We are, in fact, a team. And a team has to rely on and trust the people that make up that team. And if trust is violated to significant degrees, that can degrade the quality of a team to begin with. Everything from her name to her background was apparently a lie from day one. We were teammates with a person who did not exist. Krellick.
Zashel, I lie to you every fucking day. Do you know that?
Apparently not.
You gonna kill me for it? They killed her because they didn't like what she did. But that wasn't their problem. It was our problem. You know what they could have done? Could have ripped up her contract, told her to hit the dirt. What you think they're gonna do to you, Zashel, when you forget to cross a T or an I? What do you think are count? What do you think these skulls mean? Death.
I hardly think that
You're a paid
messing
killer,
up-
like we all are. They murdered her. Just another tick. And that's all they think of us.
That is entirely possible. I frankly disagree that that is all they think of us, given that the vast majority of our contracts have not been assassination contracts. To your first point, I agree. I agree that that is probably something that could have been handled in-house. They did not need to send Hamir here to evaluate her, to terminate her contract. The issues which we faced were relatively minor. Hamir mentioned the potential crime, something I smoothed over with Iliander literally the next day. So for head office, for someone in that organization who oversees hundreds of franchises like our own, to believe that someone at Hamir's level was worth sending to our franchise tells us that there is more going on than you and I are aware of.
What are you gonna do when they kill Dasani next, Zashel?
Frankly, my plan is to not let it ever get to that point.
And how you suppose you do that? I mean, you sound just like him.
Krellick, let's say everything that you're saying about Acquisitions Inc. is entirely correct. Let's say you killed Hamir. How would that stop anything? How would that change anything if they were going to send someone to kill Dasani or to kill Vicaris? They'd just send the next person on the list.
Maybe.
The next
So my
person
point is,
up the
my
list.
point is simply this. You're upset that they killed Yumi? So am I. You want to take action about that? So do I. Let's be smart about it, Krellick.
Or, yup. And Zashel will very quietly gesture towards Betty, Betty's slightly open mouth. Or, yup, we can all recognize that things done by the company to protect the company are almost certainly things done correctly. That these are actions that do not necessitate response, and in fact, response would only serve to inflame the issue, to make things worse.
Well, I disagree, Zashel. Clearly, we believe that the franchise has overreacted with a problem employee.
The head office, you mean?
Yes, I'm sorry. That the head office has overreacted in dealing with the problem employee in one of their franchises. Taking action to try and correct that and make sure that that doesn't happen again seems like something that would strengthen the franchise and strengthen the head office and organization.
I agree. That was my plan. Kill Hammy Boy. Send them a message.
Yes, I don't think that would send quite the message that you were hoping it would, Krellick, and that is exactly my point.
Oh no, they're killers. They understand violence.
Point of order, they're not. They're business people. They understand profit. They understand risk. They hire killers. They hire acquisition specialists like ourselves.
Lucky, is your mom a killer?
Yeah.
She hires killers to do killing, right?
Yeah.
Makes
Not
a
all of them
lot
start
of
out
money.
that way. Mm-hmm.
Looks at Zashel.
It's the same shit. It's the only difference between what I did with her mom and now is I get paid more.
I think you will find, Krellick, that there are significantly more differences than just that. When you signed up for working with Crowell, did you sign a contract? Were there rules and regulations to which you were to abide?
It's more like it's like a guideline, right? Like
So there was no paper to sign, no recognition of diversified duties, no corporate structure, no actual legal ramifications within your organization. There were a plethora of freedoms available to you which are no longer the case. Is that about it? Then perhaps, instead of all standing around here in this glamored tower while our friend's body continues to grow cold, we can all go outside, we can all go home, we can all go find a quiet place where we can discuss this further that is not this particular place now. How does that sound?
I'll walk.
You got a river you gotta ford, bud.
Good thing I can swim.
And then, the lighthouse is on an island.
Okay. I'm a good swimmer.
Not that great.
Been practicing. Okay.
All right.
She puts a match between her teeth and pulls it hard to strike it, and lights a bit of incense that is sitting, a stick of incense that is sitting in a basin of water. And once it starts to smoke, the water pulls itself from the basin and crawls around the floor, lifting itself up and encircling everyone except Krellick. And she says, "Last call."
Yup. I'm not angry as much about Yumi dying as I am about none of you giving a shit.
We all give a shit, Krellick. You just
Yeah.
can't see it.
The bubble of water encloses and encases all of you. And inside, it is warm, little muggy, little heady, little smoky. It feels like the inside of a boisterous, friendly, warm tavern. And you hear the sounds of people talking and chatter and drinking and pleasantry. And every once in a while there is the voice of people sharing little bits of gossip about things that they've done or things they'd like to do, dreams, hopes. It is a surreal experience. And before you know it, the rest of you are back home at the lighthouse. Kralik is left alone with Badger and Talawick. Do you walk?
I turn to Talawick.
You think Barry can come outside before he has to go back in the box?
You could just let him outside. He'll show
Okay.
back up.
It was, nice to see you, Talawick.
Are you sure you'd like to walk?
Yeah, it's not that far. I think they exaggerated a little bit.
I don't see why anyone would do that.
Come on, Barry. You want to see the outside world before you go back into eternal darkness? I thought so.
I walk. I don't know what direction to go.
Yeah, I know you don't. God, okay. Roll me a survival check.
Yeah, sure thing. It's a nat 1, it's a 5.
Perfect.
Oh God.
And he was never seen again.
For real.
I think they're up the top of this tower.
You are lost.
In many ways.
Yeah. It gets dark and cold. And there's nobody around except Barry.
Yeah. I talked to Barry a few times during the day. Stop and get some water, cast speak with animals, to chat out with Barry a little bit. Barry's alright. He's kind of a jerk. But I think, he's not around people a lot, so
Mm-hmm.
once it becomes like too dark, too cold, I'll just curl up into my shell.
Okay. At midnight, Barry is gone. And
Let's say it. Goodbye, Barry.
you are hunted by monsters bigger than you. Ogres of the marshes. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Is this in the night, or is this
Mhm.
the next day?
During the night.
During the night. Okay, con save. It's a 21.
Okay. I need you to take 10 points of slashing damage. Just flat. You're up all night, but you don't take exhaustion.
All right. I had 1 rage left. Could I use that to bring that damage down a little?
10 is what you would take, not what you're left.
Gotcha.
And that was determined by your con save, using your rage and everything. 10's what you got.
Cool.
Make another survival check.
It's a 21.
Okay. You realize you've been headed west, and remember that Saltmarsh is east. And backtrack.
Fuck. Yeah.
We'll wait.
Backtrack.
Yep. Back towards the graveyard and the remnants of the tower. And everyone else. What happens when you're home?
Just out of curiosity, would Yop know about how long it would take to walk from the tower, at least back to Saltmarsh?
Make a wisdom check. Give me 1 second. Couple of days, at least.
Okay. Yeah. Just trying to gauge when she would start getting worried, but not for a couple days. Okay.
Everyone else?
I think Zasha would immediately report to Abernathy.
Ah, y'all made it back in decent time. How did it go?
No, we didn't.
Hmm?
We didn't all make it back. Krellick is not back yet, and Yumi is gone. Yumi is dead.
Ah, yes.
He puts a paper into one of the drawers in his desk.
You do not sound surprised by this.
I was made aware of the situation just prior to Hamir's arrival. I had anticipated that it perhaps would have gone better. It is a failing on my own part.
So before Hamir even arrived here, you knew he was coming. You knew what this was about, actually, not simply reviewing the franchise, and you, neglected to warn us?
He looks down at his desk for a minute and then draws out a blank sheet of paper and scribbles down a note on the page and pushes it towards you at the desk.
I will pick it up while staring straight into his face.
It simply reads that he is limited in what he is capable of telling you.
Is this supposed to be...
He taps his lips and then taps his temple.
you are my immediate supervisor in this whole endeavor, and so I just want to make sure that we are on the same page here. You are magically prevented from warning the people in your employ, in your franchise, about any threats that might be presented from within the agency. Do I understand you correctly?
These contracts are powerful artifacts, Zashal.
And were you the one who reported on the events of the team building exercise, the specifics, which I will have to assume that the rest of us did not necessarily supply? I know that there is some fuzzy gray area with the constantly recording and reporting Whisper Jar. But I am trying to ascertain the exact source of the information which caused such a, shall we say, massive concern so as to necessitate the events which have recently transpired.
My report followed Yumi's report, which listed the event as a success. I was told after was of the discrepancy between the report and what was heard over the Whisper Jar. It is unfortunate, I think, that the most damning evidence happened so made it such a concern happened to be on partially behalf, and that Yop happened to have the misfortune of being separated into your group and was there, and the jar by extension there to record it. I don't blame any of you. In fact, I did what I could to dispute the matter. There was concerns even prior to the incident from head office. I told them I would do what I could to smooth them over. Hence the reassigning of positions. Evidently, things were only going to be breaking worse after that fact. I can only find myself so lucky to not find me fit to my position after the ordeal. You have my deepest sympathy for what happened to the...
I am, at the very least, fortunate to not require such sympathies. Instead, if in the future you become aware of situations, actions, musings, or even concerns from head office which directly relate to the activities of the team, perhaps you would deem to be a little more forthcoming with those details, such that we might resolve them before remunerations, as we have just had to provide to head office, might become necessary. Zetchel will get up and walk out.
Anybody else? Vicaris?
He's just gonna go head to his room. He a little exhausted with today, so he's just gonna sit and think.
Yop?
Abernathy, do you have any paperwork on Yumi? Do you know anything about her family in town?
Let me see.
And he goes into his desk and rifles around and pulls out some documents that appear blank for a moment, and once set on the desk, begin to fill themselves.
She had parents. She grew up near Crabber's Grove. She had a brother who might be around. The family was all separated after a house fire. She was still pretty young at the time.
Well, I guess we should go out looking for either the parents or the brother and try and inform them that Yumi is gone. See if they have any information or idea what she would have liked done with her remains. And I will go looking for, I guess, Zashel Zashel and or Vicaris, just to let them know that's sort of my plan. So I don't know where Zashel's gone off to. I don't know if I'd bump into him first or if
Zashel probably went out to the training room.
Oh, well then I'd probably... I'd probably just start heading up the stairs. So I'd probably see Vicaris' door closed and knock on that. Hello, Vicaris, are you in there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I come in?
Absolutely.
Open the door. Well, I've spoken with Abernathy. He's given me some information about Yumi's family. I think perhaps we should try and contact them, at least let them know that Yumi is gone, and see if they have any information about what we would what she might want done with her remains.
It's not a terrible idea. I'm a little more concerned about Krellick, but I understand. If it were my family member, I'd want to know sooner rather than later.
Yes, well, I'm concerned about Krellick too, but he needs the walk to clear his head, and I'm confident that once he does, he will be on his way back here.
Good point.
Are you at all concerned that what the franchise has done to Yumi, they might come back at some point and do to Dasani?
I'm actually a little more concerned that they might come back and do it to me. I believe as he left, that's exactly what he said.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, that is certainly problematic.
I agree.
Did he say they were definitely coming back to do that?
Nah, it was more of a change your ways kind of threat. An ultimatum, I guess.
Well, that's just silly. You change your ways very frequently.
Apparently, that's a part of the problem. Or rather, it may be a part of the problem.
Well, that's not very helpful if they won't even say precisely what the problem is.
I believe it was the fragility with which I handled a room.
That's also dumb. The tower is both still standing and, as was explained to us, it resets itself every day.
And it didn't get anybody killed, unlike Hamia.
Yes. Well,
Either way, when you get some time, I do have some things that need to be looked at. Perhaps there's some interesting properties that you may be able to discern.
excellent. Well, why don't you give those to me now? And first thing in the morning, I will take care of all of that and then head into town to try and find Yumi's family, if they're still around.
Of course, they're in Betty.
Wonderful.
Have a good night, y'all.
You too, Vicaris. And not seeing Zashel, by the time I get to my room, I will just head up to my room.
Zashel, you doing anything in the training room?
Zashel will. If Toby and Micah are still here, I don't know if the turtle shell is here or if they stayed in Saltmarsh.
They are back in town.
Okay. Then he will just stay here drinking at the bar for a little while.
Okay. All right. Next day, now we'll actually get back. We'll take our 10-minute, and then we'll be back at dawn for you all. All right. I let time run. We're back. I think everyone's here. Ted, you're here? All right, cool. Next morning, is there anything at the lighthouse that is immediately started? Work that needs to be done, or
I'd just like to rip off and identify on all of the. I'll be doing it ritually, so it'll probably take an hour or two to get through everything. But
sorry, I burped.
Disgusting.
It was. Anyway, I need to know the things that you have acquired. And of those things, I also have Sanballet's spellbook, which I am pasting right here.
And his quarterstaff.
Yes. His quarterstaff, I believe, is just a quarterstaff.
Got it.
But there is the armor that he was wearing.
Yeah. And I think a dagger from him as well.
Just a dagger.
Got it.
Do you identify the leather?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. You're going to take some damage from having to touch it. I'm sorry.
Fantastic.
Right, I gotta remember what it was. Okay. Just 11 points of lightning damage, I'm sorry. Okay. Alright. What are all the things that you have?
It's in the hoard under to be identified, plus the lightning in a
Okay.
bottle.
Okay. Do you give that up or no?
That seems, what's the word I'm looking for? Useful? Yeah, sure, useful.
Okay. The durable silk robe has been identified by Zendros as a cloak of protection.
Mhm.
The
I
finely
forgot to move it up.
Yep. The finely stitched leather satchel was another bag of holding. Two identified potions. Wait, when the hell did that come up?
Oh my god, we've had those forever.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, okay. A potion of tongues and a health potion. Whew. Thank you, notes. And the leather armor that gave off illusion magic, which is what you found in the tower, right? Is called Flicker Light Leather.
Very nice. And
So angry Pan never had this.
I would never.
I've got, in addition, I've got basically all the stuff we just got from the tower. The pearl, the violet clear liquid, the
Mhm.
silver engraved bones. I think I should just identify those 3 items, and then the ironwood chest and the wood box that looks like a book. I'll probably have to investigate to see if they're trapped and then try and open them.
Okay. I just populated the eel skin leather, which is what Sanballet was wearing.
Excellent.
Yep.
I'm a dip fighter, so I can wear it.
The bottle with lightning in it is this. It
Oh my
appears
God.
to be raw lightning in a bottle.
Okay, well, I will be keeping that now.
Okay. And as far as the stuff that you found in that room, none of it is innately magic, but all of them are components to
Okay.
often high level spells. Even the box, that chest is a necessary component for high level magic.
Got it. And nothing inside, doesn't appear trapped.
Box is
Okay.
empty.
Great. And how about the wood box that looks like a book?
Hold on. The vial that you found appears to be a very specific antitoxin for a very particular kind of magical venom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And in the clear flask here, I'll give you a little bit more. So the pearl is worth 100 gold, so it's an identify pearl. There is a revivify diamond, and there are 4 uses of holy water in the flask. The silver engraved bones are for augury, and the silver statuette and the box are for high level magic. And then what was that last one that you I'll give you their values too.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last one was the wood box that looks like a book. I found it on the bookshelves.
Yes. That turns out to just be a not locked box. It's just a fake book, you know. And inside has a pair of black leather, like soft gloves that I believe are fingerless, and have black stitching to mark some runes on them.
I will try and identify those and see if there's any anything magic about them.
Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, there's
I
also.
did put it in. Sorry.
Huh?
I put the cloak prediction. I just forgot to erase it from the to be identified.
Okay. The gloves are called Arcanist's gloves. And there was one other item that you found, which was a wand that looked like a fountain pen, which is this.
What was the book from a tower? Or did that need to be identified?
Oh, it's just a normal book. I don't know if I sent you the name I came up with for it, but it's called Harmony's Curse.
Ooh. Is it about anything in particular?
It is a, what's the word?
Like nonfiction?
It's kind of it's a nonfiction, kind of a philosophical read about what it is to, the effects of blessings versus curses, and just kind of an observation about about what constitutes for a curse, kind of thing.
Cool. Horde and my trophy shelves are updated.
Okay.
Yeah, are you keeping that in this ink, or do you want me to put it in the Horde?
Oh, Yap's definitely keeping the Wand of Endless Ink.
Okay.
I think, yeah, the rest of these items can go into the Horde. Figure out what to do with them later.
Okay. Anything else first thing?
Yop will head out. Presumably, if his patterns hold up, I will find Zashel outside.
Zach outside looking at his book.
Oh, I forgot you have a dream, Zashel. I would have
boy.
remembered, but we were doing a break overnight, so.
Now it's a daydream.
No, it's a night dream. Where Liru tells you that the place that she could find that felt the most unobserved was the Dreadwood.
Dreadwood.
Mm-hmm. It's a forest that is to the east of Saltmarsh, to the east of the Silverstrand, and it is the forest that the elves guard, because inside that forest is dark fae, werefolk, and vampires. And she expresses very clearly she understands the threat that poses, and she will be returning as soon as you tell her that it is safe. But she also cannot get that far from you.
Understood. I have Punketta back. She is here in the lighthouse with us. I will be heading into town, so I will speak to Keldek and see where that whole situation stands. Hopefully, this can be put to rest soon enough, and then everything will be... Well, at least, she can come back to Saltmarsh.
Is everything all right?
No, everything is wrong. Everything is... Nothing is making sense. This was supposed to be an organization that would alleviate all of the issues that plagued adventuring without structure, and they are just a whole new set of horrible issues. One of my team was murdered by someone from head office because of the air quotes threat that was posed. There was no threat that was ever made apparent to us, and I'm supposed to trust my superiors in this organization. I'm supposed to be able to do that. How do you do that? How do I do that now?
The look in her eyes is one of sad sympathy. And she tells you with such honesty, you just have to. Sometimes there are things much bigger than us telling us, small creatures, to move small pieces. We don't always know why we have to do the things that we do, Zashel. I wish it were more fair for my own sake, but particularly yours. I wish I knew why it was we were here. I just know that we are here, and we're supposed to be here.
Yes, but you are doing the work of once divine beings. I'm working for essentially a fop in a fancy coat who came from a family of money and created this organization to expand on that. A person. And I had to keep my... It's not even that I disagree with Krellick. I would have loved to stab Hamir in his stupid face, but that would have ended poorly for all of us, and so I kept my team safe. I used magics against a teammate that were unacceptable, and now I have to ask not just him, but everyone who witnessed what I was doing to believe that I've never done that to them, which I haven't, but they have no reason to believe me. The amount of damage that those fools did to this team without even knowing it from an office somewhere without... How...
I'm so sorry, Zashel.
Well,
Perhaps we've done this all wrong.
no. I have to trust in the plan. I'm sure when this is finished and finalized that more things will make sense. Well, at the very least, Punketta is home safe. I will take her back to your cottage, and I will, like I said, I will go see if with the resolution to the problem that we have already run into, if the other standing issues are also resolved, then you can return home as well.
She looks heartbroken, but she nods. And if you have nothing else to say, the dream ends.
Nope.
And the next morning, while reading outside, Yop finds you.
Good morning, Zashel.
Good morning, Hal.
Here, I think this was best suited in your hands, and I will hand him the diamond.
For revivifying, yes.
Yes, I thought it might come in handy. Do you know if Toby and Micah will be swinging by here at some point?
I believe we were supposed to contact them somehow.
Seems like we'll have to make more concrete plans for how to do that sort of thing in the future.
Yeah.
I think the official plan had been you'd given them one of the rings, but then it was the one that Dasani had, which we forgot when Andrew showed up the next week. But regardless, yeah, from the training house, out stumbles Lucky, just wearing an overshirt. Morning.
Wait, did you sleep in there? How long? Because I was there through most of the...
Yeah, I usually sleep on the boat, but the boat's not here, so I waited till you left because I felt like that was going to be weird. This is weirder, isn't it?
I mean, it's not weird for me. I was just confused because I didn't see you in there. That's all.
No, I, sat out there. She points towards the garden. Pretty much, till about 2 o'clock, I think.
You could have just asked me to go. Or just gone to sleep. I was just in there.
She
Thinking.
shrugs.
Perhaps we should try and find you some room in the lighthouse.
There are a few rooms available.
Do you guys need to get back to town?
Well, yes, I thought it would be a good idea to try and find Yumi's next of kin. Abernathy informed me that her parents may still be alive and that there's a brother who was at least in town at some point. That's the best information he was able to provide, but it's something, and I thought if they are around, they should definitely know about Yumi's fate.
Oh, and I'll do a little bit of clarification since I double-checked with Monkey as well.
Mm.
I mentioned she had parents, and that still stands. Her parents are deceased.
Okay, but brother's alive, maybe in town, may not be. That's still accurate?
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah, gonna go to town, try and find Yumi's brother.
Okay. She says, well, until we have the ship, I can just make it so we can, just walk. How do y'all feel about, walking to town from here?
Yeah,
That's
don't
fine.
have any problem with that. Should we see if Icarus would like to join us?
Oh, sure.
Alright. Lucky casts Water Walking, is that? Yeah, that's plenty of time. Yeah, she casts Water Walk on you all so that you can, walk to town, and once it starts to fade, she'll cast it again. And, it takes a bit, because the boat is faster than walking, but, this is what you got.
Nice day for a long walk.
Yup, why don't you make me... Oh,
I was say for the record, Punkhead is coming, right?
yes, yeah.
Although, Punkhead, if you would prefer to stay at the lighthouse until Liru is able to return, that is also an option for you.
I don't know if it's gonna be safe for one place or the other. Yeah, I should probably stay here, actually. Just in case. And... Yop, why don't you make me a persuasion check as you begin asking around. Okay. What name do you use when talking? When inquiring?
Initially, I would definitely use Yumi, but then at some point, I would turn to Zashel and Vicaris and Lucky and say, what was the name that Fier was saying? There was some other name, I can't remember it.
Yukio?
Yeah, Yukio, that's it. And then from that point forward, I'll use that name.
With an 8, I think that still holds that there's enough confusion about who you're talking about exactly. A couple people, a couple people who recognize her by her reputation in town don't give any clear answers because of her reputation in town. And
Vicaris, do you think you could handle this? I'm not very good at getting people to talk, apparently.
Sure. I'll take it from here.
all right, roll me persuasion.
There it is.
Wow.
Right.
Her name is tied to the Mizushima household, which a couple people know. They weren't many generations long in this town, but you learn more about what happened. Her family were all loyalists. They were pro-expansion and pro-crown and actively took an interest against some of the traditionalist values, which included smuggling.
Sorry. Actually, they're traditionalists against smuggling.
Oh, okay, all right. Either way, they pissed off the wrong people, and some kind of recognizable figures were involved in the destruction of her home. Her parents died and are buried at the graveyard at the temple to Procon. And her brother has not been seen since the fire.
And I guess we'll just have to do what we think is best for her.
Yes, I will trust your judgment on that one.
Okay. What else is happening in town?
I will walk Ponqueta de Liros, and then if I am still with Yop and or Vicaris at that point. Actually, he will break off to do that. He will go do that.
Okay. All right. As you're walking, she says,
So the whole, company thing, the big business, the Acquisitions Incorporated, that didn't seem to go so great. Are we still, I guess, are you still?
I am still under contract, yes.
Okay. Is everything okay?
It will be.
Alright. There's a lot that I don't quite get what's happening, but I don't know, maybe I can talk to Liru when she gets back.
If you feel you must, but this current situation you are in exists outside of corporate influence. This is a personal endeavor to assist Liru. Nothing to do with the company.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a concern. Kind of in the same way that you were worried about the people I was employed by. I'm just hoping that you're not counting on me being able to bail you out at some point, because I don't think I'm capable of that, especially given the current legal situation.
No, if my organization finds a reason to be extremely displeased with me, I will almost certainly be dead, and so there will be nothing to bail out. You'll be fine.
Great. Cool. Cheery dude you are.
Kind of shrugs. That's simply the way it is. I sort of had imagined the company was a little less stabby, but
What gave you that impression?
well, Reed Lowe managed to exist outside the corporate sphere, and wasn't until we found him. And I do not for one second believe that that if they had actually cared about his situation, that an organization with the power that they wield would not have been able to find him. I mean, we found him hiding in the bottom of a house with no wardings, no security. We literally walked in through the front door. If they had wanted him, they would have found him.
She shrugs and says, like they found Yumi?
Exactly, but that is what makes the whole thing so confusing. The difference in response is something that will undoubtedly require some attention on my part.
Maybe it was what that... all part of that, what that douchebag was saying. His observational... test, maybe? Pretty fucked up, but...
Could be. That seems an inadequate explanation, frankly.
Yeah! But I mean, what do I know? Okay. After you drop her off, do you meet back up with everyone?
I'm gonna go see Keldek.
Alright. Okay. You have the same response upon entering as you did the day before, where the door opens for you, a chair is pulled up, and the black glass mirror illuminates. And he regards you pleasantly.
Good morning. I am positive you are completely cognizant of the events that transpired in the Tower of Xenopus yesterday.
There's a very light change in expression, but he just blinks and nods, almost imperceptibly.
I have to admit my confusion after the conversation that we had, 2 days ago. I am surprised that you would facilitate our, what's the way to put it, traversal of your tower, retrieval of my employee, murder of your apprentice, and salvage of items therein.
I like to keep friends. Useful friends.
And I suppose your former apprentice was no longer useful then.
The minute that it became apparent that he was a liability, and the moment it was requested that I house him, the sooner he was out of my hands, the better.
And the threats against... what was the phrasing you used the other day? That creature that I visit?
Perhaps there is something that you and I can discuss as far as me offering minor protection. I can turn the eye of those who have seen you walking that road. cut a distinct silhouette.
I struggle to understand why you would, knowing that I am antithetical to your particular organization's endeavors, make such a generous offer.
As I said, I am not opposed to the desires or the obligation, perhaps more appropriately, the intention of your friend. But I also understand that perhaps the two of you are capable of things I might find without my own reach. And I could make use of your services at some time.
The franchise is, of course, as with the previous franchise, happy to provide services for appropriate costs.
He smiles and shakes his head. Clever words. Perhaps I could become acquainted with this Liru. And maybe she has something or knows something that could be useful to me. I have, again, no ill will towards her or you, nor ill intention. In fact, that would be pretty antithetical to my request.
Unfortunately, it would seem that your association with the... not association, affiliate with the organization of which the likes of Sanballet and Scaran Wavechaser keep company might make that difficult. It is my understanding that their efforts are somewhat in opposition to our own, and so while that is a concern, it is unlikely such a meeting between the two of you would be within our interests.
Very well.
That is, of course, unless I misunderstand your affiliation with their particular organization. If it was more...
I offer to them simply what I offer to you. Protection.
A business relation, then. Not...
He nods.
Is more understandable. Not a sharing of their purpose, as it were.
He nods.
I will consider your words. I will pass on the message. I simply wanted to apologize for intruding upon your research and any imposition we might have caused your apprentice Talawick.
She needs company every now and then.
I must admit my curiosity, and I will reach into my bag and pull out the scroll case with the piece of parchment that I had dipped in that ooze. The black stuff at the bottom of the solarium.
Mm-hmm.
The solarium itself, I understand the purpose for, but this substance?
It is a protection. As we've come to discover, at the base, the bottom of that basin, occasionally there is something of great value. Not always, but every so often, a new piece of the puzzle. It is where we found the first keys to the tower. But to access them, the liquid must be removed. It will only be removed by ingestion. And at precisely midnight, the toxin will take effect, burning your mind, withering your bones. It nearly killed Talawick the first time.
The first time. How many times have you requested that she... Well, I suppose there are at least 2 keys, so...
I have drank my fair share of the midnight tears as well. Though I do not have the constitution she does anymore.
Where'd my documenty notes go? There it is.
Anything else?
What can you... If as you say, you are... not of shared purpose with the Brotherhood, what can you tell me of their plans for the Duke of Seaton?
He's unstable. It is possible that they seek to disrupt him so much that he spreads his armies too thin, loses protection over himself, and puts them in a position of influence. Perhaps then it will be easier for the hold of the Sea Princes to take the waters, then the ports, and then the cities. These are merely musings from my place in this tower.
The Brotherhood is allied with the Sea Princes.
Only so much as it gets them what they want. I wish I could tell you what that was. I cannot imagine that it involves the kingdom remaining in its hole.
I have taken enough of your time. Thank you. I will make your offer to my benefactor and notify you of her response later.
He nods. Okay. Everybody else, what else are you working on while in town?
The goats and geese of hers are still at the island, right?
Yeah.
And then the goats were eating the weeds and keeping that under control, right?
Yeah.
Or at least attempting to.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
I'm assuming that's not very effective, but that's not really the point of this. So Vakaris is just going to find stuff to take care of the animals because he believes it's what Yumi would have wanted.
Okay. It's fine. You can throw a couple silver away and get some supplies.
Perfect.
Yup.
Yop's going back to the turtle shell and just hang out there until everybody gets back.
You find Lucky there as she's collecting some supplies. Looks like more of those what's the word? The components she used the night before. I'm gonna try to find Krellick. He's not so good on land by himself.
Well, yes, I think it's not a bad idea. I think perhaps we should drop people off and the supplies off and take the turtle shell with us.
Okay. I was just gonna... Yeah. Any other business in town before you guys all meet back up?
Nope.
Okay. You all head to the docks. You pick up your crew and head back to the lighthouse, drop some things off. Lucky lets everyone know that she's going to be heading back out to try to find Krellick. Anyone who'd like to join can.
Of course.
I mean, if we're all going, sure, but if not...
Okay. A few hours go by. She brings you back into the inlet, and begins searching around for the way back towards the tower and directions, any possible direction that Krellick will have gone. She is lucky. Krellick! I need you to roll me a survival check again.
Okay. You said I'm in Marshland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm running right now. I've been listening to Viking war music for the last hour. I'm in the middle of hunting something. And I have mud all over. I have become one with the landscape that is my ancestry. And I am conquering as I go. All right,
let's roll that survival check and see if that holds up.
Yeah. Do I eat today? It's a nat 20, 24.
Holy shit.
I was truly hoping that the primal call that you've been hearing, that drive that has been burning within you, and that determination to find what has been lost
and reclaim what is yours. And that fire and that rage and that anger and that disgust at everyone else fuels you as you become a turtle.
Yes. Yes.
And out of the brush, after dark, but not too late, you hear the rumble of something monstrous pulling over and mowing down the marshlands, the moors.
I grip my maw, and there's a vision of my father, and he's telling me,
Get up, boy. Get up.
and I run towards the whatever this thing is.
And are faced before you know it, because you do not have dark vision, with the turtle shell pulling itself over land.
Oh, shit.
And after having to turn around and not get hit by it, you know, there's a call. You hear someone calling over the side. Someone calling your name.
Grelig!
Who is it?
Grelig!
Who is it?
Yeah, Grelig. It's Yop.
I don't know, yo.
Well, you and I both know that that is not true.
Okay, I do know you. This is really big from down here.
Yes, would you like to join us on board?
Who's there?
Hey, dude.
We're all here. We came looking for you.
You all right down there?
I put them all back.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I
you
kind of
don't-
got my own thing going on right now, so
Well, we all had our own things going on. We came all the way out here to come and get you.
everybody came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll climb up.
Yeah, she throws a rope ladder down to you.
Just mud. Just mud.
Good luck.
It's camouflage.
Does it work?
Sometimes it depends.
Cool.
Yeah. So how are you? How are you all?
Well,
Surviving.
I'm still sad about Yumi. And, but I'm happy that you're back. I'd like to go back to the lighthouse and pay my last respects. Maybe even come up with a plan.
I have a plan too.
Well, I'd very much like to hear it, Krellick.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
I mean, maybe I'll keep it like a secret.
Yeah, secrets went over super well the last time we dealt with them.
Okay. I'm gonna kill Humir. Obviously, I'm going to kill Humir. But what I need to do is work from in the system. I'll get permission from whoever's above them to kill them.
Well,
There may be some intermediate steps in there with which I can assist.
it's funny you should say that because I was thinking along similar lines. It does seem that money talks here at Acquisitions Inc. And if we could enrich the organization to such a point that we are indispensable, perhaps it will give us the leeway we need to eliminate other members of the organization.
I was thinking the same thing. Or we just pay them. We just bribe them.
Well, bribing is one way to do it, but I was thinking that if
I'm
we
sorry, just
simply.
so I'm clear, is Betty here with us on the ship right now?
Oh, yeah.
The whisper jar, and to be clear, the whisper jar is attached to Yop's back.
Oh, I thought it was in Betty.
It's
No,
even
no,
worse.
I've got it.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
on
worse.
Yop.
Okay. Well, that's certainly one way to do it, but I think it would make much more sense to just make so much money for the franchise and so much money for Acquisitions Inc. that we are simply indispensable.
Oh, and then they just let us do it.
Well, if we make them enough money, I believe they will.
I think it's a good plan.
That way it's perfectly legal. That way the Acquisitions Inc. knows all about it. Right? And that way we get to avenge Yumi.
Cool.
All we have to do is make ourselves the most valuable franchise in Acquisitions Inc.
This is pretty exciting because it feels a bit like a mutiny, and I've never done a mutiny before.
Well, just like you had suggested, we'll be taking the problem down from the inside.
I've been hearing that word in my head, suggest.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Do you guys have something to eat here? Because I'm very hungry.
I brought some stuff with us. I figured, well, I was just gonna try to show up here and just get you home as quickly as possible, but as soon as everyone else was like way interested in making sure you understood that like we all care about you or whatever, um yeah, there's like a shit ton of food downstairs, dude.
Okay. Are we? Is the boat gonna go? Because we're just sitting here. It's in the dark.
She turns around and puts her fingers to her lips and whistles really sharply, and the engine roars and begins to pull.
You think I can shoot the cannon once?
Let's wait till we get out on the open waters and then you can shoot it more than once.
Okay.
Begin sailing back home, firing the Arcana Ballista into the dark, and eventually arrive home a few hours before dawn. Any last minute things you guys do?
Yop is going to get a shovel and start digging relatively close to the garden.
I'll help you out dig.
You recall that inside Betty is a shovel that Yumi gave you to show off the miraculous bag of holding.
If you'd like, Yop, I can simply excavate the dirt.
Well, if it's all the same with you, Zashel, in this instance, I'd kind of like to do the work.
Of course.
Come
You're
on.
welcome to join us, though.
Come on, man. Come down here. Dig.
I would be happy to assist, but I will almost certainly only slow you down. And he will set his jacket somewhere and roll up his sleeves. Do you actually have another shovel?
I'm just using my hands. I thought you would just, dig. Don't you have claws?
Here,
No.
you can use Yumi's, and I will switch to using my hands.
All right. As the light of dawn eventually begins to warm the ocean, and then, for those who cannot see so well in the dark, give sight to the depth at which you have tunneled, you've burrowed. It's enough. And it feels enough.
I liked
Who-
Yumi.
I did too, Krellick. Sorry she's gone.
So we couldn't help her.
Oh, but we can still help her, Krellick. We're gonna make Acquisitions Inc. so much money that when we come for Fahir's head, they will open the door for us and point the way.
Hamir, not Fahir.
Freudian slip.
Streams are getting crossed.
The body is lowered and covered. A place is marked. The garden will be strengthened by her. Anything else you all do for presumably going to rest as the sun continues to rise?
Karlak will go for a swim to wash off the mud.
Okay.
I think Zeshel will wait for him.
As will Yop. As will Betty.
Lucky sits on the steps of the lighthouse, just watching you all. And Kralik, when you return, does anyone have anything they'd say?
Kralik, I want you to know, despite our conversation in the tower, I have never lied to you. I have never lied to anyone here. I may not have always shared every bit of information, but I have never lied to you, and I won't. I genuinely believe in this team, all of its members. I wish I could have done more to make the events of the last few days not occur the way that they did. Maybe things could have happened differently.
I know you care. You know, I actually never lied to you either, except when I said that I lied to you. That was a lie.
I appreciate that.
Well, Zishel, what do you think of the plan?
I have other avenues I will work on independent of the efforts to ingratiate ourselves to head office, which of course I will assist with in any way, shape, and form of which I am capable. If any of my further ventures bear any results, I will bring them to everyone's attention. I am still certain that there is more at play here than we are aware of. But until then, there is one final bit of business, I suppose, that needs to be resolved. And he will pull his money pouch off of his belt and pull the contract out from the box, or from his Documancer case. This is the 300 gold payment for the rescue of Punketa from the Tower of Xenopus. She has been returned home. Salvage has been acquired, and of course the contracting fee. And he will just hold out the bag of money.
I'm getting paid.
I did hire the franchise, after all.
Yes, give it to me.
He's holding out the bag of coins.
Yeah,
now this is, of course, for the franchise as a whole. So head office will take a cut, and the rest will be split among everyone else, but we can hand that off to the Horde's person in the morning.
Oh, well, how much do I get?
That will be ultimately the decision of Actually, I suppose ultimately the decision of Dasani, whether or not we wish to contribute some of it towards the shared fund that we keep within the Horde, whether
Well,
there's
I
300
mean,
gold in there and what?
Yop and I
2
did a lot. I mean, Yop and I, we killed we killed them things. You know, we found her.
Yep. Yes, I recognize, and when we speak to the Horde's person and decisionist in the morning, I will definitely be willing to bring that to their attention. More than likely, an even split, we would. What's that? 50 gold apiece, I suppose. Although we'd have to subtract the head office cut first, but I think their cut is what, 10%? I'd be willing to pay that out of my own share so that the meager remainder is spread amongst the rest of you.
Well,
Hopefully we can find some better paying work in the morning. I may have a small start in that regard, I suppose.
I do just want to say, we would have kicked Hamir's ass, okay? You all know that, right?
Absolutely. It's just what would have happened next that would have been a problem.
Yes, Hamir was an agent of a larger organization, so win or lose, a direct assault on his person while on official business would have caused more issues in the long run than it solved in the short term, I'm afraid.
I don't know. I think maybe it'd be Yumi's greatest team building exercise.
I disagree. I think working the long game for that end result is perhaps the best team building exercise for it. Initially, vengeance probably would have seemed enough, but I think the long game will perhaps feel better in the end. 5 minutes of working together to defeat Hamir, or, however long it will take us to execute this particular plan. Which do you think will build a stronger team bond?
I think probably both. I mean, it would have felt good to do it then.
On that, we are agreed.